Would count this as central London.
Okay, central London banking district, in the beautiful Ember. I don't know, Zoe's face is literally the poster child of TFL.
Yeah, a month after graduation, I was doing TV work.
I got on the reserve list at LAMDA. My mental health, it dropped. Genuinely, I reached quite because I didn't know what to do with my life.
I knew how tough it was going to be. I didn't realise how tough it was going to be.
So the purpose of this podcast is to have somewhere where recent graduates can talk about their experiences so that other people who have just graduated realize that actually it's not just them that are feeling a certain way or experiencing a certain experience. Before we get into that, we're going to play a little game.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's mine, the vocal roll.
And yours? Yeah, and
Brian Cox!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fantastic. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast studio. We are here in the beautiful Ember in is this central London? I can't tell.
It's the bank. It's like the banking district.
Yeah.
I would count this as central London.
Okay, central London banking district, in the beautiful Ember. And I'm joined here by Kat Dalfa and Zoe Zach. Ladies, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
So the purpose of this podcast is where we all graduated from LAMDA, right? Mm-hmm. So the purpose of this podcast is to have somewhere where recent graduates can talk about their experiences so that other people who have just graduated realize that actually it's not just them that are feeling a certain way or experiencing a certain experience. And the topic that I wanted to cover with both of you is resilience. Because I know you both and I know your journeys and I know you've both been extremely resilient along the way. However, before we get into that, we're going to play a little game.
Okay, okay, yeah.
A little game. So, this game is testing your LAMDA knowledge.
Oh, God.
So what we're going to do, the aim of the game is I will give you clues about a LAMDA graduate, right? And you have to guess who it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to make it timed, but we're not going to make it timed just because that's going to be too hard. But it's a competition.
Okay.
So may the best person win.
Well, that won't be me because I'm so bad
I'm not going to know
at any form of quiz.
I'll give you a sample question.
Okay.
Yeah. So that we can get warmed up into it. All right. This person plays the patriarch of a family-run global media and
Brian
entertainment.
Cox!
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
As if I had to shout that.
There's a microphone just in front of you.
So to make it a bit more fun,
Yeah.
you have to create a buzzer noise. Back to
No, that sounds wrong. That sounds...
Is that your buzzer noise? You can make it anything you want. Okay.
That's mine, the vocal roll.
And yours? Okay. Cool. Do you get it?
Yeah, get it.
I don't think I'm ever going to use the noise. I don't think I'm going to get them.
No, you will. Have faith.
Exactly. All right. This one's the easy one. He plays the superhero in Marvel movies that
Go on, Kat.
Okay, Zoe, that was you.
Oh, really?
It was
I think I was just
Judge.
louder, but Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, correct. 1 point. Okay. Number 2. She plays the broken mother of the lead character in his Dark Materials. The show's called His Dark...
Ruth Wilson?
Yeah. All right, Kat. You can get one. You can get one. Okay. This is a good one. This is the easy one. All right.
Oh, God.
He stars in and co-produces the 2023 American Western series Lawmen Bass Reeves. He also gave an amazing speech at... Go ahead.
David Oluwaye.
Oh, Yellow.
I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah,
his surname.
Yellow.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the one. Because he was...
It's
right.
the speech bit. The speech. I knew
Yeah, this... Okay, cool. Okay, this one's a bit of a tougher one. He is currently on Law and Order as a district attorney, but he was the president on the ABC show Scandal by Shonda Rhimes.
I don't know who this is.
Oh, I don't know.
No?
No idea.
Not seen either of those.
Scandal? No. President in Scandal? No. Okay, I'll give you that one. It's Tony Goldwyn.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay,
See, I
last
knew
one.
all these people, but I didn't actually know what
That they were, yeah.
projects they were doing.
Okay, last one. She played a leading role in the Queen Charlotte spin-off.
I see Emma Thomas.
Yeah. There we go. We got one. I did it. All right, that's the end of the hard part. Okay, three. We got 3, 1. But still, who's counting? Yeah.
Hey, we're all winners.
We're all.
I got that last
winners.
one.
All right. Zoe, actually, guess who I ran into?
Who?
One of your primary school friends.
Oh, who?
What's her name?
A girl.
Who?
Who?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I worked with her at a school. I was a cover teacher at a school, and I was covering for her. And then she came back, and we were just chatting. She's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an actor. I went to LAMDA." She's like, "Oh, do you know Zoe?" I was like,
my gosh.
Yeah.
She used to live across the road from me. We were
Yeah,
like really
you were
good
neighbors.
friends.
Yeah. Anyway, she says hi.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. If you're watching, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca.
Maybe. Yeah. But anyway,
Anyway,
she says hi. So, could you both tell us, decide who wants to go first, a part of your journey where you wanted to give up, but you kept pushing through? Or maybe just even start from like the lead up to LAMDA and how that, because for both of you, you're kind of already in the industry for a while, right? Mm-hmm. And how that was leading up to it and how you kept pushing through past those obstacles and challenges and even the process of getting into LAMDA itself.
We had a bit of a similar experience. We've auditioned quite a lot of times. I think I auditioned 6 times in the end. Yeah, and don't know
To
about
get
you,
to
Zoe.
LAMDA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for LAMDA, I think it was 3 for me, but I across the whole span, it was a 12-year span for me. When I first auditioned, when I was 18, 19,
Yeah.
to when I finally got in, and I auditioned 6 times across that 12 years.
Serious.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, when you just asked that question about like the final time I auditioned, I wasn't going to, because the final time that before that, when I auditioned, I'd been in the industry, I'd been working. Mm-hmm. The pandemic had hit and I was like, I'm ready. I want to grow and my career isn't allowing me that. It's not giving me that space to grow, the opportunity to grow. So training is what I should do. Okay. And surely at this point I've proven that I want to do it and I can do it. Mm. And then when I didn't get in again, I got on the reserve list at LAMDA. My mental health, like it dropped so badly. So when you asked that question, I almost like felt like I was going to cry because it was quite damaging, really. Like I reached like quite because I didn't know what to do with my life. I felt so worthless. I felt like I couldn't, there was nothing I could say or do to just do this thing that I had wanted to do for so many years.
Yeah.
And I wrote a piece, when I did get into LAMDA, I wrote a piece about how I was then going to afford it, because it's crazy. And my journey through it all, and I kind of touched upon that feeling of feeling so low, and remember being away with my niece and her saying I'd gone off for a run and she said, "We're going to miss you." And I went off and I burst into tears because I was like, well, I don't know how long I'll be around, because that's how hard it was.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, by the
Yeah.
way, especially the fact that it's, because there's someone out there that is probably experiencing that right now.
Yeah.
And Kat?
Yeah, I mean, so I auditioned. I always wanted to go to drama school. That was always the aim for me. And people always said, "Oh, you don't need to go to drama school, or there's other options." But I was just so tunnel visioned in that I was going to do it. And I knew how tough it was going to be. but I didn't realize how tough it was going to be. And I think for the first 4 years, I didn't even get a single recall, like nothing. And
4 years?
4 years of not a single recall. And it wasn't until the 5th and 6th year that I actually got recalled. And then the 6th year is when I got into LAMDA. And it is one of those things where it's such, like, people talk about, you know, people say law of attraction and manifestation. I believe in the law of averages, in that if you do it a certain amount of times, and I used to work in sales, sorry, it's off topic now, but relates to it. So when you work in sales, you can sit there refining your pitch and how you're going to sell this item. You can do whatever, but if you do it to 100 people, somebody is going to buy that product that you're selling. Yeah. And it's the same with drama school, and it's the same with auditions. And really, eventually, a drama school is going to let you in. But it's one of those ones as well. It's not just, the resilience, but it's also talent as well. So I did actually try to improve myself in that time. But law of averages, it's so underrated. It's so underrated. Yeah. But yeah.
So Zoe, what helped you push through?
Well, at that point, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not putting myself through this. It's not worth my mental health. It's not worth what it's doing to me. And then time is a healer, basically. I got to maybe, that was like kind of September, and then I got to maybe February the next year, and it just comes back that it's this feeling of like needing to do it. It's not wanting to do it. It's just needing to do it. And it being the one thing that truly makes me happy. Okay. And being sat there watching, I think Grey's Anatomy at the time was my favourite thing, and watching it and just being like, I want to do this. This is just what I want to do. And then, so I just thought, right, we go again. And I guess I I'd had enough time and space from it all that I was able to get back on the horse. Okay. And
so for you, it was taking the gap and taking like, okay, let me put that to the side for a bit, reevaluate.
Yeah.
And then that bug came back.
Yeah.
When you were away from it for
That's
a while.
Exactly it. It's the bug. Yeah.
And for you, Kat, it sounds like it was quite matter of fact. Like literally, it was like, okay, there's a numbers game. Boom, 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 boom.
I mean, yeah, I think that was my way of coping with it. The rejection. So when you're talking about like getting into drama school, I thought the way to deal with it was just to try again. That was like my mentality. But I did feel a sense of frustration a lot. And disappointment. I'm not going to pretend that I was on to the next. I just tried really hard to be positive and go, right, going to try again. And I'm very lucky that I have family and friends who were really supportive of me at the time as well. So I was lucky in that sense. But dealing with that kind of frustration, but using it as an opportunity as a learning curve, big thing. And also sometimes it's just what the drama school's looking for.
Yeah, at that time. It's true.
We would just, for us graduating in the same year, that was just our time. They were looking for us. Yeah. The 5 years before, they weren't looking for me.
Yeah. It's true, because there's a completely different management, teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we went, we had a whole new set of people, didn't we?
Let's not go into that. It's a whole different topic altogether. But yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, let's skip the whole drama school part, because that's not why we're here. Graduating into the industry, both of you had already been in there.
Yeah.
How was it now going back into it post drama school?
Well, I think it was, so before I went to LAMDA, I was doing some really, really interesting projects. I was doing small scale theatre, very happy, but I wasn't just progressing to like the next level in terms of like TV, film, big work. And having graduated from LAMDA, I had the experience of actually working on a big TV set. And that contrast, you can't prepare for it. Just going from being like just a small scale actor, having work every, maybe twice a year if I'm lucky, to then having regular auditions and working on some amazing projects. That was a shock to the system. I was a bit like just this imposter syndrome of like, are they sure about me? You know?
So that's what you graduated into, like going straight from like.
Yeah, a month after graduation, I was doing TV work, and
Really?
yeah, no, that was. I was so honoured, and I really enjoyed it. But
Could you share with people where they can see you?
Yeah.
Could you share with some of the shows that you've been on? So that
Yeah, so I did straight after, I think it was in August time, I was saying I did, it was Death in Paradise, the spin-off show Beyond Paradise. Auditioned for it, and 2 weeks later I found out I got the part.
Wow.
It was fantastic because I think it just really like set me up to feel confident. Okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then once that was over, and you haven't got anything going on, that's when the resilience has to come in, because you're like, was that just a one-hit wonder?
Yeah.
Like, that's my career done.
Yeah.
We're done.
That's
we completed it.
Yeah.
So there's always that looming feeling of like, am I going to be successful in this career? That feeling just continues. I think I don't think I ever feel like I'm. Yep, I'm safe in this career. Everything's going to be all right. I'm going to be successful. That feeling, I've never felt that. What's the word? Like in a consecutive amount of time, if that makes sense. Just sparks of that. Yeah.
Okay. And you, Zoe, because both of you, I'm jealous in a good way. This is a good jealousy. Both of you graduated straight into work. You got work even before you graduated, didn't you? So tell us a bit about that.
What, the campaign, the
Play, rep.
Oh, the play, rep. Yes.
Yeah.
We actually had Toby as one of my guests for the director's cut.
That's not out yet, though, is it?
It's going to be out by the time this recording comes out.
Okay, cool. Yes, I did rep with Toby Clark and Jamel Westman, who was the original UK Hamilton. So that was a real privilege to work with him and the rest of the company. It was a gorgeous company. It was a whirlwind, that job, because it was... I found out I'd auditioned for it on the Friday. We'd finished our show on the Thursday, our last rep at LAMDA. On the Friday, we had an audition for the RSC, and everyone.
Yeah.
And then I had an audition that evening for rep, and then by Saturday, I found out I'd gotten the job, but I didn't know whether I could do the job because I was still technically at LAMDA. So I needed LAMDA to write, So I was like, oh God, and I was supposed to be starting on Monday. But fortunately, LAMDA, our head of year and the head of academic services, head of acting, they all had a meeting, and I believe Matt fought for me and got me that time off and figured it out so that I could come back afterwards to finish what I was missing. And then we had, I think it was 2 weeks to do, I was playing the lead, and it was a full length hour 40 show.
Oh, wow.
And I was in every scene bar one, and the scenes would open like, it was quite filmic in that the lights would come up and I would be mid-sentence. So it wasn't like I could even warm up into a scene. I had to be so on it in a 2-week rehearsal period. Might have been 2 weeks and then a week. No, I think it was 2 weeks and then a week of shows.
Yeah.
And then it was done. It was just, and I was already running on empty from being at LAMDA, and so it feels like a bit of a dream that whole time.
And then since then, you've been on every tube platform for the past.
I feel sorry for all your ex-boyfriends, because that's all they see. Imagine just seeing Zoe just on there and be like,
So for those of us that don't know, Zoe's face is literally the poster child of TFL. And you're literally everywhere, and I think that's the biggest picture, and it looks so glamorous. You got the wind blowing your hair back.
You do look great. I want you to sign my Oyster card. Actually.
Happily. It's funny because you do a campaign like that, and that was like done in May, I think, last year, and then it came out, and that was quite exciting. But then it just is there and it exists, and you get paid pittance. And you're like, I didn't get paid enough for the amount I'm being used. But whatever. We all need to survive. And it's fun. And I do think that being out there probably helped me get seen for the job that I then did next, which was a show called The Boy at the Back of the Class.
Oh yeah, you went all over the place.
So I was on tour with the show. But don't get me wrong, I did rep, and then I was in the desert for months and months and months, and I I reached out to a friend of mine who's quite a successful actor to say, do you know anyone who would be good to kind of mentor me? I just need to talk to someone, but I would quite like it to be female, someone who might have a similar experience to me but is further along. And he set me up with someone, and she was really great, and she really helped flip where I was at, which was that I was feeling like, I think I just benefit from being in something full time. Like coming from LAMDA, I was like, I thrived in that environment of just constantly, because I'm a bit all or nothing. But she was like, it's a lifestyle choice. Being an actor is a lifestyle choice, and you have to get used to that.
Yeah.
And it just helped me feel a bit better, a bit more positive. And then lo and behold, a month later or so, I booked my 6-month tour. But there was that gap.
Yeah.
And that finished in June, and there has been a gap since. And what are we now? Like end of August.
Yeah.
But it feels like it was a year
long
ago.
time ago.
Yeah.
So we've got we're going to do some wrap up now, but if both of you, like in just a few sentences, can give like some tips that have helped you along the way, because even though you've graduated into work, the journey up until that was still quite, and there's still moments of having to be resilient in between. So is there something a pearl of wisdom that you can leave our viewers with, so that, and then also tell us, what you hope to, if you are going to be in anything next, where we can find you, how we can follow you, your handles, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think one thing I have learned when you're out of work or waiting or auditioning is using that time to still stay positive. And one thing that's helped me stay positive is just romanticizing it a little bit. Literally, I just go, oh yeah, I'm just resting after that production. Yeah, just focusing on like making coffee art and just being all this like kind of wholesome stuff, and like just sort of romanticizing it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost the same as just like faking it till you make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that has helped me, because I'm not out of work. I'm just on rest mode. I did a whole theatre show. I need my rest now.
Right.
That's helped me, but that's my little thing. But finding something that you can go to. Some people, it's actually just working on other projects. For me as well, I'm like trying to like write my own stuff. So there's things you can do for yourself as well. Yeah.
For me, it's this podcast.
Yeah. And that's the podcast it is.
Finding a way to be creative.
Yeah. Outside of that. Zoe?
So yes, something that I would really recommend, and something that I was told to do years ago, was start writing a list of all the genuinely kind of the genuine compliments that you're given over time, because they will be there and they will come. And when you're feeling a bit pants, look at that, because you'll be surprised. You'll forget that so-and-so, this incredible person, said that you were extraordinary at some point. And when you're sat at home twiddling your thumbs and not feeling extraordinary, it's quite good to be reminded of that. That's the external validation side of things. Internal validation for me, it's looking back at work that I've done and being like, oh no, actually I am good. I'm good at what I do. I'm not rubbish. Even like if it's a tape that you're particularly proud of, or photos of like production shots from school, and I'm like, oh my god, I played Margaret Thatcher. I smashed that.
She did. That is not a lie.
So like that kind of internal a way to like just remind yourself. Fake it till you make it, which was again part of the like drama school journey as well, because I was like, other people can do it. I can do it too. And like believing that. I'm sure there's so much more.
Yeah, sure. But we've got to wrap it up there. How can people follow you, find you?
At cat.dorfer.
Nice.
What's yours?
I think just at Zoe Zach on Instagram, I think.
Is it? Are you sure?
I don't know. Don't worry, we'll find you. We'll put it on the screens. Okay. But thank you so much, both, for
Thank you so much,
down.
Ryan.
Yeah, it was short. It was sweet. I'm sure at some point, I don't know, something else will come up where it would be lovely to collaborate with you both again. And just thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
6 months into graduating from drama school, I felt like I hit rock bottom. That's where the idea of Be Seen came from. The idea is for creatives and artists to be seen. So I want to create a community of like-minded individuals who will work together to collaborate and take each other to the next level. So if you're an artist, a creative, an actor, director, producer, and you want to be part of the Be Seen community, send us an email, leave a comment in the section below, and let's get connected.